What's going on, Vinyl community? It's your boy Ryan Webb back with another video, and today I'm going to be showing all my vinyl finds I've gone through January and February. I've really gotten a lot of records in 2 months. What can I say? I'm a vinyl addict. I love me some records, and I show no signs of slowing down anytime soon. So without further ado, let's get into the records. We're going to start off with some 45s. The first 45 we have here to show is Dan Hartman's Waiting to See You. I ordered this online with a couple other records I'll show in a minute. And this is a single I've been wanting to get for a while because I'm a huge Dan Hartman fan. I've been meaning to make a video on him for a while, and I'm probably going to try and make my video on Dan soon because the 27th anniversary of his death is coming up on the 22nd of March of this month. And yeah, I just love Dan Hartman. This is probably my favorite song from him. It's just such a good song. And it was originally going to be released on his album called White Boy, but his label wouldn't let him release the album for whatever reason. So instead, it was released on the soundtrack to a movie called Ruthless People. And I haven't seen that movie. I know it has Danny DeVito, Judge Reynold, and Bette Midler in it. And it's got some good reviews, so maybe I'll check it out sometime. But yeah, for now, I'm happy just having the single, and if I ever see the movie, maybe I'll check out the whole soundtrack. It's got Mick Jagger, Kool and the Gang, Bruce Springsteen, a lot of famous names on it. And now the rest of these 45s I got from the thrift store. Now, I go thrift looking for records at thrift stores maybe like once every 6 months, because usually I don't find anything good. I'm always hoping when I go that maybe I'll find my $1,000 record that I get for $1 that you see in all those videos with thousands of views. But no, I never do. Last year, I found my first thrift store find. It was a very, very beat up copy of American Graffiti, like so beat up, it was almost unplayable. Like I think only side one was the only side that played through without any issues. So that was a little bit disappointing. But I managed to go to a thrift store and I found all these singles and they were like 50 cents each maybe. So I got all these songs for like maybe $5 or $6. I don't remember, maybe even less, but yeah, here's the first one. It's When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman with the B-side Knowing She's There by Dr. Hook. I haven't heard the B-side of this yet. I only know When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman. If you've ever heard the station Yacht Rock on Sirius XM, then you definitely know When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman. It's a great song. It's a great relaxing song. You should definitely check it out if you ever get the chance. And that wasn't my only Dr. Hook single. The other one I got was Sharing the Night Together. Now, I've never actually heard that song, Sharing the Night Together. The reason I got this single was for the B-side, You Make My Pants Want to Get Up and Dance, which is as amazing as that song title suggests. I mean, how can you not want to listen to a song called You Make My Pants Want to Get Up and Dance? I mean, once you've listened to When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman, check out this song. It's just as amazing as it sounds. Next up, we have Just the Two of Us by Grover Washington Jr. Now, I do have the full 6-minute version on the Winelight album over there on my new shelf. I'm not sure if I've shown this yet, but I got new record shelf to have in the background. These aren't all my records, by the way, just half of them. But yeah, got a new shelf. Grover Washington Jr.'s Winelight is over there. But, you know, for like 50 cents or however much I got this for, I was like, why not? It's an amazing masterpiece song, and I can get it for like 50 cents. And the B-side is Make Me a Memory, Sad Samba, which is also another fantastic song. I mean, the whole album is just amazing. But Just the Two of Us, I mean, we all know that song. We all know how beautiful it is. Next up, we got Good Times by Chic. Now, I'm not the biggest Chic fan, but I do love Nile Rodgers' guitar playing and production. That's the main reason why I've kind of been checking out Chic a little bit, because of Nile Rodgers. I mean, he's produced like a bunch of other stuff like Let's Dance by David Bowie, Madonna's Like a Virgin. Most recently, back in 2013, he played guitar on Daft Punk's Get Lucky. I mean, he's just a fantastic guitar player and producer. And this song is no exception. Whether you're a fan of disco or not, I'm sure you know Good Times by Chic, and you probably enjoy it. I mean, I love the song. It's so good. And the B-side is A Warm Summer Night. I still need to check the B-side out, but Good Times, good song. Next up, we've got Lotta Love by Nicolette Larson. This is another single I got the album of. I made a video last June called One Hit Wonder Records, and I featured Nicolette's record just called Nicolette that features Lotta Love, and I love that song so much. It's one of my favorites of all time. The album sadly doesn't live up to it, but I mean, just another thing is like for 50 cents, why not pick it up? The B-side is Angels Rejoice. Now, I'm not sure if that's from the album or not. I guess I'd have to listen to the album again, but I'm happy to have this single in my collection. And the last one I got from that thrift store is Hot Stuff by Donna Summer. Now, I'm not the biggest Donna Summer fan, but I do love this song. And once again, it was like for 50 cents, why not? But then I brought it home, and because I didn't check the record. And where is it? Cause there's a massive crack in it. God dang, where was that? I'm having a hard time seeing it. I'm very sure this one had a crack in it, didn't it? Oh, wait, yeah. Here it is. I'm not sure how well it's showing up, but yeah, this record's cracked, and I'm not willing to risk screwing up my needle playing a cracked record. So, I mean, luckily I didn't pay a whole bunch of money for this, even though it's cracked. That does suck, but oh well. I'm sure I could find a copy of it somewhere, or the record somewhere else for dirt cheap. But now on to the LPs. I've got a ton of LPs. I'll try to get them quickly, but at the same time, I love all these albums, so I wouldn't be surprised if this video goes on for a while. But anyways, first up, we have the Pretenders self-titled record. Now, I got this record online with the Dan Hartman single I showed a second ago, and alongside the next record I'm going to show after this. And I ordered this literally before Christmas, and it took forever to show up. Like, my recent finds video, I didn't feature these records in them because it took, like, they weren't even here, I don't think, when I made that finds video back in early January. And so I was really happy to finally get those after like a month of waiting. And yeah, this is a fantastic record. This is one I've been hearing about for a while. I knew Brass in Pocket, that's an iconic song, but I never heard anything else off the record. So I was happy to get a really nice copy of it. And yeah, this is just a really good new wave post-punk record. And you can find it for like dirt cheap anywhere. So if you ever see a copy of this, or you've been seeing copies of it everywhere and you've been thinking about picking it up, then definitely check it out. And that other record I bought from that seller is an original UK pressing of Elvis Costello and the Attractions This Year's Model. Now, I'm kind of wanting to get original pressings of a lot of Elvis Costello records, because I mean, like, especially the first three records, the UK and the US versions had like slightly different variations, like covers and usually a different song. But I'm not too like wanting to get them too horribly badly, but the one that I was wanting to get really badly was this one right here, because this is the only Elvis Costello record where I prefer the UK version. I think the US Elvis Costello records actually had better track listings, like especially with My Aim Is True. We got Watching the Detectives, and then in the US with Armed Forces, we got What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding. So I think the US versions of those two are better, but as for his second record, This Year's Model, the UK version is just so much better. Even the cover art, I love this cover so much better. The US cover it uses a photo from the same session but different photograph, and it's boring. I love this picture of Elvis all mad, or I don't even know, like mad, annoyed, what you call that expression. And the songs on this one are so much better than the US. In the US version, they got rid of the songs I Don't Want to Go to Chelsea and Night Rally and replaced them with Radio Radio, which Radio Radio is a fantastic song. I love it a lot, but I love, like, I Don't Want to Go to Chelsea might be my favorite Elvis Costello song of all time. I love it. And Night Rally, I'm not sure if I'd say Night Rally is better than Radio Radio, but it's just as good. And I mean, yeah, this version of Elvis Costello's This Year's Model is definitely better. I'd recommend it more than the US version, but either one are still great albums. Next up, we have Kate Bush's Hounds of Love. You guys already know I got this. I made a video on it a few weeks ago. I don't need to talk too much about it because I already made a whole video about it. So yeah, check that out if you want to hear my thoughts on this record, because man, I was blown away by it, to say the least. Next up, we have Wasn't Tomorrow Wonderful by The Waitresses. Now, I found out about them from this YouTuber called Todd in the Shadows. He makes these videos about music, and he has this series called One Hit Wonderland, where he talks about one-hit wonders. And back in November, he made a video on The Waitresses' one-hit song called I Know What Boys Like, and I was like, wow, that is a good song. Like after I heard the song from that video, it was stuck in my head the rest of the day, and I just couldn't stop listening to it after I heard it from that video. And so finally, about a month ago, I went to my local record store, and they have like this huge wall of just stuff that people aren't buying, and so they just kind of put it over there for like $4 or $6. And so I got a super nice pressing or copy of this. Like there's like no ring wear, the record plays through just fine for $4, and I was really happy to get this. The whole album is so good, like No Guilt, Wasn't Tomorrow Wonderful, Redland, Jimmy Tomorrow. I mean, check this record out. It is a fantastic new wave album, and it's got Billy Fica from Television on it, if you're a big fan of Television. And also, while I was at that record store, I found Doolittle by the Pixies. Now, back, I think in my last video, I showed that I got Surfer Rosa, their debut record, back in December, I think. And I really loved that record. It's so, so good. And I was very interested to check out the follow-up Doolittle because I also heard great things about it as well. And so I managed to find a copy of it at my local record store. And yeah, it's a fantastic album. I mean, it's got the hit song for them. What is it called? Here Comes Your Man. And I love that song a lot. And it's got tons of other great songs on it as well. I need to listen to it more though, because I haven't gotten as much time sadly to listen to it recently. But still, I mean, it's just, when I did hear it, it was just fantastic, fantastic. Definitely check it out if you like Surfer Rosa like I did. Next up, we have the second record from Roxy Music, For Your Pleasure. Now, I've been getting into them for like the past year or so. I discovered them during the early stages of the quarantine, whenever we had to stay home all the time and everywhere was closed. And there was really nothing to do except stay home and listen to music. And I discovered Roxy Music through the song In Every Dream Home a Heartache, which is from this record. And I loved that, and I still love it. It's such a good song. And I decided to listen to the whole record because I heard, or I saw how much critical acclaim it was getting. And it's a fantastic album. I mean, Do the Strand, Strictly Confidential, The Bogus Man, For Your Pleasure. I mean, if you're looking into Roxy Music, this is definitely one to check out. I'd definitely say listen to Avalon first. Avalon's probably my favorite Roxy Music record, but this one's still, I mean, wow, what an album. Next up, we got a familiar face here. Kate Bush, The Kick Inside. After I heard Hounds of Love, I just went on a big Kate Bush kick, and kick, haha, bum. I didn't do that intentionally, but anyways, was like, man, I want to get all of her records, and I'd already heard of this one. I heard it like sometime last year, and I already knew I really liked it. I had just been putting off getting it for a while, but then after being blown away by Hounds of Love, I was like, oh, I gotta get a copy of this. And so, as you can tell, I did. It's in super nice shape. I believe it's an original US pressing, because you can tell it doesn't have the same cover as the UK one. They got very different ones. The track listing is still the same. And I mean, this one, for a debut, it's like up there in the ranks with like Van Halen's first album and all that. Just has a fantastic debut. Like, let's see, Moving, the saxophone song, Wuthering Heights, James and the Cold Gun, Ode to Be in Love, Them Heavy People. I mean, just a killer debut. Kate Bush is just a genius. And I mean, she even was amazing from the start. Next up, we got the Velvet Underground. Of course, you all know I love the Velvet Underground. I made a video back, I think, in July or August of last year, ranking their studio albums. I literally got a poster of them right here. And so I finally managed to get a good deal on a copy of their compilation from the 80s called VU, because all I've had from them are their main 4 studio records. And I've been wanting to get this for a while, but all the prices on them were just kind of a little bit more than I wanted to pay for a used record. So I managed to find a good deal on it like about a month ago, and I was very happy because it's in such great condition. I mean, it's got so many great songs like I Can't Stand It, Stephanie Says, She's My Best Friend, One of These Days, I'm Sticking With You. I mean, just an amazing compilation. I mean, the Velvet Underground, you can't go wrong. Well, you can go wrong with their last album, Squeeze, but everything else you can't go wrong with. I mean, it's just, I mean, Lou Reed, what a songwriter. And I mean, all the other members, Sterling Morrison, John Cale, Mo Tucker, and Doug Yule were just great songwriters. definitely, if you love the Velvet Underground, you have to get this record pronto. Next up, we've got Johnny Thunders and the Heartbreakers with their record LAMF, the Lost 77 mixes. Now, I've heard about this record for a while. You know, it's like a classic early punk album, almost like in the ranks of the Clash's debut or Nevermind the Bollocks by the Sex Pistols type thing. But I never got around to listening to it. But then last year, I started getting to a band called the New York Dolls, and I fell in love with their first two records. And then I found out that the New York Dolls guitarist Johnny Thunders went on to form this band, and it's like, I was like, you know what, I should check them out sometime. And then finally, like about a month ago, I was listening to them, I was like, wow, this is just a great punk record. I mean, Born to Lose, All by Myself, I Want to Be Loved, It's Not Enough, Chinese Rock, Going Steady, Can't Keep My Eyes on You. I mean, this is just a great album. And the thing about this version is the Lost 77 mixes. It's got a different mix than the original pressing, and it's also got, I think, 4 extra tracks on it. Or no, it's just 2 extra tracks. And yeah, I mean, I love those 2 extra tracks as well. I mean, this whole album is just amazing. If you're into that 70s punk and you haven't heard this record, I mean, I don't know what you've been doing. You need to listen to this record. It's just amazing. I've listened to this so much this past month. I love this record. It's amazing. Maybe I'll make a review on it like I did with Kate Bush's Hounds of Love, because, man, I could go on about this record for a while. Okay, these next 2 records, I've been listening to a lot of 50s rock and roll. I mean, I've been listening to it for a while. Like, I love Buddy Holly and Richie Valens. But I decided to listen to some more of it, and I've got mainly rockabilly is what I've been listening to, that 50s rockabilly. And I've got a few rockabilly records that I'm going to show, and the first 2 are by Gene Vincent and his Blue Caps. We got their debut album, Blue Jean Bop. This is a pretty good record. I do really like the songs Blue Jean Bop, Jezebel, Ain't She Sweet, Jumps, Giggles, and Shouts. This one, it's a pretty good debut. I do really like it, but I definitely prefer this next record here, which is his second album. It's just self-titled, Gene Vincent and his Blue Caps. Like, this album is so good. I mean, I really liked that first one, Blue Jean Bop, but this is just rock and roll at its finest. I mean, it's just loose, it's raw, there's lots of screaming in it and shouting. I mean, wow, this one's a really good 50s rock and roll. I love Red Blue Jeans in a Ponytail, Hug Me, or Hold Me, Hug Me, Rock Me, You Told a Fib, Cruisin', Pink Thunderbird, Pretty Baby. I mean, if you're looking to get into some 50s rock and roll, this is definitely one worth checking out. And you can find brand new copies of this one and Blue Jean Bop for pretty cheap. I think I only paid like maybe 15 bucks for them each. Original 50s pressings will definitely cost a lot more, but these newer pressings, they sound good. They're not amazing, but they sound pretty good. And I mean, this one's definitely worth it. If you're gonna pick up a Gene Vincent record, pick up this one. It's great. And we got another Kate Bush record, Never Forever. This is the last Kate Bush record. I really want to get some more of hers, and probably if I do a March 2021 finds, she'll definitely be on there. But yeah, this is the last one I got from February, and I mainly wanted to get this one because I love the song Babushka. I mean, what a song. Just, man, Babushka. I mean, enough said. If you've heard the song, you know how amazing it is. So I decided I'd check out this one next after Hounds of Love. And it's a great record. I love Blow Away, All We Ever Do Is Look For, or All We Ever Look For. And then The Wedding List is also a fantastic song. I mean, while definitely not as good as Hounds of Love, I still really like this record. If you are looking to get into Kate Bush, this is one to check out. I mean, it's just great. Next up, we've got The Smiths with Louder Than Bombs. Now, I've been wanting to try and find an original pressing of this for a while, but the prices on them, like online, have gone up so much. Like, I managed to get all my original Smiths pressings I have back there for like 30 bucks each, but then the ones online for this record started going up in price. And then my local record store got a brand new copy of it for like $30. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and get a newer copy. I'm fine with that. And I'm really happy to have this record because it's a compilation of a lot of singles from the later period of Smiths, but also some of their early stuff that you would have found on Hatful of Hollow. You got Is It Really So Strange, Sweet, or Shoplifters of the World Unite, William, It Was Really Nothing, Heaven Knows I'm Miserable, Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now. My favorite song by the Smiths is Ask. I love that song. It's on here. I got Hand in Glove, Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want. I mean, this is just a great singles compilation. I love me some Smiths. And now the only Smiths record I'm missing is their live album, Rank. So hopefully I can find a copy of that soon. Next up, we got Franz Ferdinand with their self-titled debut from 2004. Now, this album has been a pain in the butt to find because, like, on Discogs, no one in America seems to be selling copies of it. So you have to order from, like, England or Europe, and shipping is, like, $20, so then you end up paying $50 for it. So one day I was looking on eBay and I managed to find someone selling them for like $30 each, which is definitely more than I want to pay for a single record. But I was like, this is probably the cheapest I'm going to be able to find it for a while, so I'll go ahead and bite the bullet and pay $30 for it. But luckily it's well worth it because this record is so good. I mean, it's got Take Me Out. I mean, if you know Franz Ferdinand, you know Take Me Out. But like the entirety of side one, Jacqueline, Tell Her Tonight, The Dark of the Mountain, Alf Ash, I'm not sure how it's pronounced, I'm sorry. And then side two, you got Cheating on You and Darts of Pleasure. I mean, this was well worth the $30 I spent. This is a fantastic early 2000s indie rock essential. And yeah, if you can find it, because I don't think you should spend $50 for it, even though I do love it. $50 is a lot of money to spend for a single record, but if you can find a good deal on it, definitely check it out if you're looking to get into early 2000s indie rock. It's a fantastic album. Now next up, we don't got a record, we got a whole ass box set. Where this is the complete Buddy Holly. Now you can tell it's definitely very beat up. It's got water damage on it. And this is a 6-record set, and the first 3 records really have warps on them that make like the first track or two unplayable. But luckily, only the first record has songs that I don't already know from Buddy Holly, because I've got a bunch of Buddy Holly records. I'm a massive fan of his. And so yeah, luckily some of the songs that the warps affect I already had on other albums of his, like his debut or That'll Be the Day. But yeah, I mainly wanted to get this for the 5th record because it contains these demos or overdubbed demos of songs he recorded in New York before he died. And I was really wanting to get those, and yeah, I was really happy to finally get it. Here's record 1. Show these real fast. Record 2, record 3, record 4, record 5, the final record, record 6, and also comes with this huge booklet with all these pictures and notes. It's really a cool read. I was happy that this still had it intact. And yeah, I'm very happy to have this because Buddy Holly, he's been one of my all-time favorites for literally years. I love Buddy Holly so much, and so to have this 6-record box set of almost everything he's done fills my heart with so much happiness. I'm really happy to have it. Next up, we've got the Smithereens debut, Especially For You. I've got their 2nd record, Green Thoughts, and I really liked it, and so I thought I'd check out their debut because it's also got some good reviews. And I mean, this is a really good record. I love the opening track, Strangers When We Meet, Cigarette, it's a great song, Behind the Wall of Sleep, Blood and Roses. I mean, if you're into that 1980s alternative college rock type sound, this is definitely one you gotta check out. Next up, we've got another Elvis Costello and the Attractions record, Imperial Bedroom. This one, I can't remember, maybe like his 6th or 7th record, and I definitely need to give us another listen. I remember when I first listened to it, I thought it was pretty good. It's definitely a lot different from This Year's Model and My Aim Is True, but that's what I love about Elvis Costello, is that he's always trying something new, never does the same thing over and over. And this one is definitely, I know, a fan favorite of his. It's got a lot of great reviews, so I need to listen to it again, but yeah, I remember it being really good. We have Sam Cooke, The Best of Sam Cooke. I've been getting into Sam Cooke recently. I really like his voice. He's got just such a nice voice, and he has a lot of beautiful songs. And the prices of this are kind of expensive. I managed to get a nice copy of it, but the record, I don't know why it has like all the corners cut. I'm not sure if, like, I don't think record companies did that, because I know they would cut off corners to resell, but I don't know if they ever did it 4 times, but I don't know. The record plays through just fine. It has, some like dirt on it maybe, but other than that, like no skips or scratches or anything. And this is definitely a great compilation. Like You Send Me, Only 16, Everyone Loves to Cha Cha Cha, For Sentimental Reasons, Summertime, Chain Gang, Cupid. I mean, this just has so many great songs on it. You should definitely check it out if you're looking to get into Sam Cooke. Now, these next 7 records I got at my local record store, and I got them because I recently sold, or I guess traded in a bunch of records from my collection. I traded in roughly 72 records a couple weeks ago. And the reason why I did it, I mean, I've been like trading in records for a while, for like almost the past year, but usually like little bunches of like maybe 15 to 20. But then I saw this video that Channel 33 RPM made, and it was the 5 vinyl commandments. And he was talking about how, like one of the things we need to make sure with our collections is that we're collecting what we love and not what everyone else says that we should collect. And even though that's definitely something I try to live by with my collection, at the same time I found I had a bunch of records that I wasn't listening to, but I kept it just because it's like, oh well, it's a classic album, so I should probably keep it, in case I do want to listen to it. But I hadn't listened to it in like a year. So finally I was like, okay, I really need to cull down my collection, because I mean, I just got a ton of stuff I wasn't listening to, and I'd rather replace it with something I will listen to than just have, it take up space on my shelf, because I've only got so much space to hold records. I should just try and make more room for stuff I will listen to. So yeah, like I said, I traded in about 72 records, and I got about like $100 something in store credit, and I got 7 records back. And these are what they are. First up, we've got Igor by Tyler, the Creator. I need to get more hip-hop in my collection. This is my first rap record, because I do like rap music. It's definitely not something I'm an expert in, but I do like rap. But I was originally hoping to find Straight Outta Compton by NWA, but they didn't have that. But then they did have this. I was like, I've heard a lot of great things about it, so I'll check it out. And I've listened to it. It's a really good album. It came out just a couple of years ago, and yeah, it's a really good album. I probably should give it another spin soon, but yeah, if you're looking to get into hip-hop or rap, Igor is definitely some worth your time. Next up, we've got Rubber Soul by the Beatles. Now, I've got the original US pressing, and even though I do kind of prefer the US pressing of Rubber Soul, at the same time, the UK has Nowhere Man and If I Needed Someone, which are 2 songs that I love, and then I don't understand why they left off the US version. I don't know why, but my phone decided to stop filming in the middle of when I was talking about Rubber Soul, which is very annoying since I've already almost talked about these records for 30 minutes in a row. So instead of just starting the video over and filming almost 28 things or minutes of video again, I'm just going to pick up in the middle. It's going to be an awkward jump cut between Rubber Soul and this. But anyways, let's just get back to the records. Next up, we've got Station to Station by David Bowie. This is an album of his I've been looking to get for a while, and he's got Golden Years on it. And I've heard live versions of not Golden Years. I've heard live versions of Station to Station and TVC15 from his live album Stage, and I really like those songs. And I've been hearing great things about Station to Station. I mean, it's just another classic 70s Bowie record. And so I finally managed to get a copy of it. And the cool thing about this one is that it's on this white vinyl to match the cover, which was very cool to find. Happy to have this finally in my collection. Classic Bowie. Next up, we've got a couple by The Cure. We have Faith. This is their 3rd record and one of their more goth records. I do love this album a lot, not as much as I love the album that came after this, Pornography. That one's probably my favorite The Cure record. I love it a lot, but then this one also is a fantastic record worth checking out if you're getting into The Cure. And along with that, I got The Head on the Door, which came a couple years after Pornography, but before like Disintegration. I believe this one was when it came out before Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me. It's more of their poppier era, and it's got the big songs In Between Days and Close to Me, which are very big Cure songs and really good songs. And I really liked this record, not as much as I liked Faith, but this was still a very good record. I'm happy to have it finally in my Cure collection. Next up, we got Linda Ronstadt with Heart Like a Wheel. Now, I had heard of Linda Ronstadt for a long time, but never really thought to check her out until Rolling Stone put her on the 500 greatest albums of all time list. And then I discovered that this album has like tons of like great reviews. A lot of people love it. And I was like, I never knew Linda Ronstadt had such acclaim with this record. So I was like, I'll check it out since I, had store credit. I was like, why not? And this is actually a really good record. I love You're No Good and It Doesn't Matter Anymore, Heart Like a Wheel, I Can't Help It If I'm Still in Love with You. This is definitely a pretty good record, I must say so myself. And finally, from all the stuff I traded in and got with store credit, we have Johnny Rivers with Outside Help. Now, originally I was just trying to find his single, slow dancing, swaying to the music, because I wasn't really interested in any of his other stuff. I just kind of wanted that 45. But since I had, a bunch of store credit and I was technically kind of getting this for free, I was like, why not? I'll check out the rest of the album, see if it's any good. And I mean, the rest of the album's good, but yeah, I'm definitely probably going to be listening to Sway Into the Music. I'm very happy to have that song finally. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. If you haven't heard it, you definitely need to check it out. Next up, we got another 50s rock and roll record with Johnny Burnett and the Rock and Roll Trio. This is one I've heard about for a while, and like original 50s pressings go for insane amounts of money, like upwards of thousands of dollars. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, it's a great record. I do really like this album. I mean, $1,000 for this album, like even an original 50s pressing, I don't know if I could do that, but still, I mean, you could find brand new pressings like I did for about 20 some bucks, and it's definitely worth checking out if you're like in that 50s rock and roll, rockabilly, like Gene Vincent, Buddy Holly. Very good album. Next up, I got the debut record by Bauhaus, In the Flat Field. This is a great, great post-punk goth rock record. I love the songs Double Dare, In the Flat Field, Small Talk Stinks, and Nerve. I mean, this is just a great record. I was super happy when I found out my record store got this. They do this thing on Fridays where they show off the new records they got. And once I saw this on there, I didn't even see what else they had in that video. I just ran straight to the store. I was like, I gotta get this record. And they had it. Oh man, it was a great feeling to get this home and on the turntable. Fantastic album. Now this next record, I originally only ordered this one online. It was Madness, that their self-titled US compilation. I really wanted this record for the song Our House, and the rest of the stuff on it I'd heard before and it was pretty good. I mainly wanted to get this record, but the seller threw in 2 extra records. I've had this happen before. It's where you order a record and then instead of having bubble wrap or something, the seller will throw in a couple of records or a couple of jackets as like padding for the record. Because like last year I ordered a copy of Jeff Buckley's Grace, and the dude threw in a copy of the Knack's debut record, Get the Knack, and Southside Johnny and the Asbury Dukes debut record. I thought that was pretty cool, and that's what this seller did as well. They threw in 2 free records. The first one is called Jackie Gleason, Lazy Lively Love. Now, I've never heard of Jackie Gleason or this record, so, and I'm not really sure if I'm ever going to check it out. I mean, maybe I'll listen to it once. Let me know in the comments if you've ever heard this record and what you think of it. I'm personally not too interested in it. It just seems like maybe a basic jazz record maybe to have on in the background. And I do love me some jazz, don't get me wrong, but not this kind of boring stuff that maybe you play in the background of parties. I'm into the hard bop. But anyways, it was cool that their seller threw this in. And along with this, they threw in something I am excited to have, Frank Sinatra's Cycles. I don't have too many Frank Sinatra records in my collection. I've only got 3 others, so I'm very happy that I got one for free. And the interesting thing about this one, it's like he's got a picture of him with Tiny Tim on the back. And I can't tell who that is. Is that like him with George Harrison and Patty Boyd down there? I mean, Frank had some friends in high places, if I must say so myself. I still actually haven't heard this record yet. I've been meaning to. I just keep forgetting I have it because it was just kind of thrown in. But yeah, I mean, a free Sinatra record, you can't go wrong with that. These next two records I also got online from a seller on Discogs. First up, we've got Revolution Girl Style Now by Bikini Kill. Now, if you don't know who Bikini Kill are, they were from the early to mid 90s punk movement called Riot Grrrl, which was a feminist punk movement. They were sort of the main band that you've probably heard of from that movement. They're the only band I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, there's a whole sort of underground punk movement called Riot Grrrl, and that's what they were a part of. And man, I've heard all their albums, and I've got their compilation, the singles, over there in my collection, and it's a great compilation, and this is a great debut, even though it's technically a demo tape with a few extra songs chucked onto it. I mean, what an album. Excuse me. Like, I love the opening, Candy, Daddy's Little Girl is a fantastic. I love the bass on that song. My favorite song off of here is called Suck My Left One. And then Carnival's a great song. Double Dare Ya. I mean, if you're into punk and you kind of want to move past this, like, the classic stuff, 70s, check out some later punk. Bikini Kill are definitely a band to check out. They make great stuff. And also from that seller, I got Bad by Michael Jackson. I've been wanting to get an original pressing of this for a while because my copies of Off the Wall and Thriller are original pressing, so I kind of want to fit the aesthetic and have this one be original pressing. But really nice copies of Bad, like original from the 87, are like going up in price. Like there's $16 to $20, and I always knew I could, if I just waited, I could find a nice copy of this for a good price. And I've managed to find this one with the Bikini Kill record for under $10. And it's in really nice shape. I mean, there is like the back cover is a little dirty, but the record I remember played through just fine. And I mean, I'm super happy to have this in my collection. It got a bunch of my favorite Michael Jackson songs, like Bad, The Way You Make Me Feel, Man in the Mirror is my favorite Michael Jackson song. I love that. And Smooth Criminal. I mean, this is just another classic 80s Michael Jackson. I mean, what else can he say? It's Michael Jackson. He made some great stuff in the 80s and 70s and 60s. He just had a really good musical career. But anyways, next up, we got Los Angeles by X. They're a band from the 80s. They were a punk band, and I discovered them recently because I've heard their second album, and I wasn't too impressed with it, but then I decided to give their first record a chance. I was like, wow, this is a great album. So I guess I need to check out their second album and give it another chance, but I mean, this one is an amazing debut. I love Your Phone's Off the Hook, Not You, Johnny Hit and Run Palace, Los Angeles, The World's a Mess, It's in My Kiss. And this record was also produced by Ray Manzarek from The Doors, and they do a cover of The Doors' Soul Kitchen, which is really cool. So yeah, another punk record to check out if you're looking to get into some other punk, kind of like I've been doing. And also, speaking of punk, our last record that I'm going to be showing is a punk record. It's Damned, Damned, Damned by The Damned. I just said damn on my channel more than I think I've ever said in my life. But anyways, yeah, I managed to find a copy of this on eBay. It's not an original pressing. Original pressings of this record from the UK on Stiff Records go for a lot of money. This one's from the 80s. It's a German press, I believe, and it's on this green sort of marbled vinyl. It definitely, I was a little disappointed when it finally showed up because the actual quality of the pressing, like side one sounds fine, but side two just sounded really kind of flat in my opinion. I don't know if all pressings of it sound like that, or maybe just my volume wasn't loud enough, but I was a little disappointed the sound quality wasn't all that great. But I mean, nonetheless, it's still a great early punk record. This is from that same scene as like Sex Pistols, The Clash, but doesn't get as much attention, but it does have the song New Rose on it, which is a fantastic song. And yeah, even though I was a little disappointed with the sound quality, at least the record itself is still really good. And I'm still happy to have it in my collection regardless. So yeah, I much like at the beginning of this video, I think I said I would go on for like 30 minutes about records. And I think I've gone well over that, but I love my records. And I show no signs of slowing down anytime soon, I don't think. So yeah. We'll see what March of 2021 brings us for vinyl. But till then, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.